my God. Welcome back, everybody. Quite the long break. That was our official summer break. We'll call it that. Between Memorial Day week and weekend and work and graduation and game addiction. It's all good.
Game addiction. All the fun.
All the fun. All the fun. So, I'm going to take us back a bit because it has been a while since we played. And I think a bit of a refresher might be in order. The team had suddenly become affiliated to a particular crime lord, or at least seem to have accepted the fact that Xanathar's henchmen and soldiers have taken over Skullport. And kind of in a strange way, aided and abetted by the group a bit. But this is when we said goodbye to Rahi and hello to Rahi's physician, Shogo. And the team took a week, took some time to go back to Waterdeep, spend some of their money, do some additional research, have conversations with family members, and plan their next moves to get deeper into the Undermountain. After leaving Skullport, after their return, they found the arcane entrance into the mystical, multi-dimensional world of one of the students of Blackcloak. Here, they came in contact with some pretty rare magic, as well as Wintrude had discovered an interesting deck of cards. She pocketed those cards, but I believe you pulled one or two cards, right?
Two. The first card I pulled caused me to lose all my non-magical material goods.
That's right.
And then the second card gave me a boon of a scroll of plane shift.
That's right. And that was, talk about pure luck, because I believe that was utilized to get you guys out of the arcade maze and to the entrance of the tomb, of the elemental tomb. Unfortunately, the entrance of the elemental tomb was guarded by a dragon. But once the dragon was defeated, the team then proceeded down through the door and in to the elemental tomb and into the darkness below. And with that in mind, we are on our day 15 of our subterranean travels. Stand in a stairwell, looking down into an arcane mist that is swirling at your feet. You're on stairs, at least it feels like stairs. You could feel that this space is a little bit more tangible than that strange multi-dimensional area that you were in. This feels like you're back in the prime space of the Undermountain. But it already feels older. Like you feel like you're walking in steps that no one has walked on for a very long time. The stairs continue 20 feet ahead of you into the swirling fog. What would you guys like to do?
Who here has the best senses? Who wants to take point?
Obviously, it's me.
Well, you're a ranger, right? This is your forte.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, let's go for it.
So that Gelmir, you're taking the lead. Who's coming up behind Gelmir?
Me. Alexander, okay. He runs right behind him.
The immortal and the insane leading the group.
Take a short rest, or maybe not that long.
They're just fearless. That's just their power.
I mean, that's up to you guys. I would say if you guys want, during your search of the elemental tomb entrance, you could go ahead and indicate a short rest if you want off of that.
Yeah, definitely want to.
Cool.
Okay.
Time to help.
I did lose a little near half my health.
Well, also, you guys would get Song of Rest,
Yep.
an extra 1d8 hit points. So I guess
nice.
I'll roll the 1d8, I guess. Is that
Yep.
So an
an
extra
extra
1d8 to what we're doing.
7 hit points.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, 7 temp hit points.
Yep.
No, real hit points.
Oh, really?
If you take a short rest, if you use
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, let me roll here.
let me take a short rest.
So what's that? 10, 16, so 23. Okay. I can math like the peoples do.
All right.
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot.
know. Flashback.
Warlocks, they recharge all their spell slots on short rest. That's like their benefit.
Do they?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's like the
Fucking
huge.
warlocks.
That's what they're trying to change with the new 1D&D.
Why? Warlocks are already squishy. Well, you're a battle warlock.
They're
though.
trying to make it long rest, but give them more slots. That's what they're trying to change.
Well, there's
What?
nothing like
Does-
more sluts after a long rest.
Well, I guess before we go, I would like to use my inspiring leader to give everyone temporary hit points.
Go for it.
That's just 15 flat.
Okay.
15.
During
Man.
the long rest,
Oh.
short rest, I would like to try and extract the acid glands from the black dragon.
So just to
I
verify, just to get the
Yeah.
rest stuff out of the way, 15 temporary hit points.
Yes,
Correct.
and plus
Yeah, the
7
previous number I
of your-
got. Yeah.
off your heal.
We all get 15?
Shogo, I think we already did that before we took our break.
I didn't actually get a chance to. Well,
I think
Yeah, we did. We
I
did all sorts
start-
of rolls and stuff. Yeah.
Someone rolled something and then we left it to be figured out when we came back. I think I forget what it was though.
Oh, you know what? Might have been the glandular extraction. I don't remember taking notes for that.
it's all right. We don't need to do
Because
that.
I thought you collected 3 doses of the acid. For some reason, that number is
don't
sticking in
recall
my
that.
head. But go ahead, since it's stuck in my ancient crown, go ahead and write down 3 doses of acid is what you recovered.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep, because it's stuck in my head. For some reason, it's there. So I'm gonna use it since it's in my head.
There was like a series of skill-based rolls that he was doing too.
Yeah, and maybe it was for the acid, and I forgot to resolve that before we went forward. So I got Gelmir and Alexander in the lead. Gelmir and Alexander, give me perception checks, please, as you begin to lead the rest of the team down the stairwell into the fog.
Oh, that's a 13 with a plus 10, so 13.
Which check?
Perception.
It is not.
What'd you get?
9
Well, I'm glad to see Gelmir and the Immortal are in front.
We're not perceiving much out here.
Yeah, we're doing great, guys. Never
So
been
who's
more confident
following?
about
Who's
anything.
following Alexander?
I'm in the back.
I'd say I'm following Alexander, but I've instructed Mika to stick by Wintrude.
Okay.
I just get the sense that Wintrude is one of the more sensible people.
We'll see what this
I
deck
know
of
what you
mini
mean.
things, bro.
I'm perfect. I don't understand.
Yeah, so then I'll follow Shogo.
Okay.
So Tyr can remain. Tyr, if that's what you want to be doing, is bringing up the end there. Okay.
Yep.
The
That way I'm not
fog
messing up.
is almost like a thick blanket of like humidity. It's a little bit strange in the sense that you're not entirely sure that you're breathing air at this point, but and you can feel the moisture of it collecting on your form as you go deeper and deeper until Gelmir, you feel your feet find like a stone floor. And for you, Gelmir, because of your height, the fog is like right at your eye level. But as Alexander steps off the stairs behind you, it's more at his like waist and midriff level at this point. The two of you are standing in a round stone room with 3 feet deep of fog, kind of like filling, or maybe a mist. It's hard to know for sure. It fills this round room, and there are 3 hallways, one directly in front of you, one slightly to the right, and one slightly to the left. And the mist kind of boils down each one of the hallways. The mist itself gives off a strange kind of blue illumination. So you can kind of see as if it's dim light currently because of the mist.
I think with the mist being this height, I would jump onto Gribbitz's back so I can ride.
Pull yourself up, and Gribbets is up, kind of hovering nearby. The rest of you step off the stairs so that all 5 of you are now in this round room with the 3 hallways, 3 feet density of mist, and a blue illuminated fog that's kind of like giving dim light in the round chamber.
So
All
which path?
Let's do all of them. Let's split up.
No! Okay, I know I've lost all my materials. What? Wait, Gelmir, don't you have? I lent you Dirk's Dungeon Delving.
No,
Did you read it?
I lost it because of that magic thing.
No, the magic only affected me.
Yeah, it was yours, so it went away too.
That. In any case, left. Let's go to the left.
Sounds good to
Let's
me.
go to the left, and I'll go up the middle.
No, we're all going to the left. We're not splitting the party. That is a big no-no in dungeon delving.
I sort of gently tug Gelmir to the left path, kind of like...
As you
I
do
have like
that,
a-
there's an explosion of light. It kind of like fills the room, and as the light fades, there's now 2 hallways, and they're both to the right.
See,
I mean,
we
there's
would have died. We would have died if we were in that hallway.
I mean, there's still technically a left hallway.
So yeah, I mean, if we're going to be a stickler for rule, well, I'd like to be a stickler. Rules are the only thing that kept us alive. Okay, the one farthest to the left on the right.
Are these... What kind
You're
of
taking
magic
out
is
an
going
astral lab to be like...
Right,
Did you...
left,
did-
right.
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of magic this is. Did you have like a gem that allowed you to see things, like that ruby?
The ruby. Well,
I take it out of my pocket and glance around through it. Is it actually working, or does it seem
I
to
mean,
be the
it's
same
like you
problem?
bring the ruby up to look around. There's another explosion of light, and now there's 2 center hallways.
we just gotta go. We just gotta pick a direction and just go.
What?
To
what
the
if
left.
What if we just have to wait?
So in total, how many hallways do we have?
So 2 in the
No?
center.
Now there's 2 in the center.
It keeps changing.
2 in the center, but did the 2 in the right disappear?
Correct.
Oh.
Actually, it seems that the hallways change when we look at them.
Okay, then don't look.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps we would get better results if we did not see for a couple seconds as we went into them.
So, Gelmir, close your eyes for me.
Okay,
Spin around.
I'm doing it.
Okay, Gelmir, spin around. I'm going to stop him at one of the tunnels. Stop. Keep your eyes closed. Walk forward.
I think we should all close our eyes for a second, just us
Actually,
perceiving him.
Gelmer,
I
are you
can't-
doing that?
Yeah, but I have 10 feet of blind sight.
Yeah, so like that means you have to get off of your ride to be affected that way.
Well, can I just like steer him with my blind sight?
So Tyr's spinning gribbets with you on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then shoves you forward. You go forward 10 feet, and you watch as Gelmir just kind of blindly goes down one of the center hallways. And as he goes into the center hallway, there's a flash of light, and now there's 2 left hallways, and no Gelmir.
Well, that's not what we wanted.
That sort of worked.
What? No.
I mean, he went down somewhere deep. I would assume that if we were to do the same thing as him, the same thing would happen to us, or it might kill us. But
We just split the party. That's a big mistake. How does he get what he wants even when we prevent him from getting what he wants? This has been the whole adventure. I don't get it. I don't understand.
so you say that the hallways have shifted again?
Yep. Now there are 2 hallways to the left.
God damn it!
All right, here's what we're doing. All right.
I rip some fabric or a rag and I blindfold myself. I'm looking and then I tie up.
All right, everybody grab my shoulder, make a line, and then close your eyes.
I'll grab his shoulder.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I grab his
comply.
hands.
Okay, let's.
Grab her hands.
We're moving forward. We're moving towards.
Start
Which
massaging
of
his
the
shoulder.
2 Which of the 2 left hallways do you take, Windru?
I'm trying to veer as far left as I took from the leftist looking one, the most lefty.
The most lefty, tighty
Yeah.
righty, lefty squeezy.
That's
Okay.
right, lefty loosey.
So you guys could feel the tension as Windru kind of like pulls you forward, and there's this feeling of pressure change, and all 5 of you are standing together in another round room with 6 hallways.
Oh Jesus!
Witchard, your shoulders feel really tense. Do you need a massage, perhaps?
Gelmir, how does it work when you send Gribbets back and like, can you summon him at will? How does that shit work?
I mean, I can summon him for free once a day, but then after that, it takes my magic.
Oh.
Okay,
So
so
you gotta pay me to summon him, is what I'm saying.
wait, who's paying who? What?
Yeah, if you want me to repeatedly summon gribbets, I need to be paid for it.
Why?
Okay, six tunnels. There's 6 tunnels. in this chamber.
It's like, God damn it! And
All
it's
right,
like, as you guys are talking, all of a sudden, in front of you appears this massive bronze statue. And it's holding scales. One scale is up, and one scale is down. But there's nothing on the plates.
I jump on the high one.
As you jump up on the high one, it slowly comes down a little bit, but still off kilter. Not quite there.
I have gribbets
Does the
jumping in.
statue indicate anything of like what is it? What is the statue? Who are we looking at?
Give me an investigation check.
I got a new die for 28.
Ooh, nice.
From your studying of the 7 disciples, the bronze statue appears to be a statue of the disciple Granji. Granji the Bold.
Do I know why he was called the Bold?
Give
What
me
do
a
I know
history
about him?
check. See if you can remember anything specifically as to
Ooh.
why this is relevant to him.
Damn, not one.
That one. I mean, you know the imagery. This is clearly.
I remember it was actually not the Bold, it was the Bald. He wore a wig. That's why.
I mean, the statue is a good 15 feet tall with these huge arms holding out these scales. Gelmir's climbed up into one of them, and it came down slightly. And it
Gribbets is
seems
gonna
to be
jump
an
in it.
effigy of Granji the Bold.
So we
Well-
need
well, hey-
we need to even out the boldness with the cowardice. So Winchard, go on the other scale.
I am not a coward.
And yet, I see you not going on the other scale.
Fine.
And it's like you watch as Wintrude like gets onto the other scale because it's slightly lower, as Gelmir's is higher. But as Wintrude climbs into the scale, suddenly they do go even. And there's a glyph of intelligence that appears on Wintrude's scale, and a glyph of what's a politically correct way of saying stupid? A glyph of the challenge on the right side of the scale. And there are these two explosions of light. All the fog fades away. The 6 hallways all kind of merge into a single hallway that's slightly off to the left. And then you can see dim light kind of like flowing down the now revealed hallway.
Could we just take a moment to notice that it's slightly to the left? This
I
is
think
a
it's
sign.
just a matter of perspective. If you're facing the other way, it's to the right.
Yeah, but if you're facing the other way, you can't walk through it.
Yes, I can, and I'll walk backwards through it.
With your blind sight, of course. When you're walking around. You can feel it. I feel the vibrations and everything.
Well, okay, let's go.
Wait, how does Gelmir have blind sight? I want blind sight.
It's my fighting style.
Uh,
Oh, was it a feat?
It was for being a ranger. I get to choose a fighting
Yeah.
style.
It's
With
like a
blind
class
fighting.
thing. Cool. I like that.
So who's leading down the new tunnel?
well, Gelmir is going backwards, looking at us, and I'll go follow him, looking directly at him without breaking eye contact, no blinking.
Okay.
I'll
Who's
follow
following up after Tyr?
I'll follow Tyr.
Okay. Shogo and Alexander bringing up the rear.
All right.
As you're stepping backwards, Gelmir, watching Tyr staring at you as the two of you are going like,
Of course.
can that stare get any more cringy?
I was tearing up.
So, Gelmir, give me a dex check as you're walking backwards. With disadvantage because you can't see behind you.
I got blind sight.
All right, regular then, because you do have blind sight.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I only rolled a 7, so 11.
As you're watching Gelmir Tyr, he's stepping into a room that's slowly opening up into a bigger space. You hear a clicking sound, and Gelmir, who's in front of you by about 5 feet, suddenly there's a warp, an explosion of energy, and then you see Gelmir about 100 feet ahead of you and slightly to the left.
Whoa, I'm slightly to the right, everyone.
Does Gelmir know the difference between left and right?
Well, he's walking backwards, so for him that is right. He is.
How big is this? How big is this space we're talking? He
It's
said 100
hard
feet.
to tell. Give me perception as you try to fathom the size of the space that you guys just walked into.
30.
There are. It's weird. There's the hallway, the stone corridor that you just walked up to the edge of, and watch Gelmir get zapped across 100 feet. But as you step out, stop and look, and everybody's behind you, there's no walls to your right and left. It's just this 2 foot tall, high green mist that just goes on forever, and no real sense of boundary or no real sense of definition of space.
So, just for the sake of this is enchanted, something's going on. I'm going to walk backwards also and try and mimic Gelmir's stride length, going backwards to do the exact same thing he did.
Give me dex with disadvantage.
Ooh, disadvantage. I got
Yeah, you
2
don't
die. I got 3 die actually now, but Dex disadvantage, just flat dex. Is it a save? What is?
Just a dex check.
Oh,
Just
13.
a big box for Dex.
13.
As you guys watch Tyr do that, there's an explosion of energy, and somewhere way off to your left, another explosion. And there's Tyr, a good 200 feet away. But at the same time, there's an explosion of energy where Gelmir is, and then Gelmir's back way off to the right, another 100 feet. And the three of you are standing in the entrance of the corridor into this space, and now Tyr's way off to the left, and Gelmir's way off to the right. You can barely see them in the dim light.
Let's try and avoid that, please.
What?
What?
Don't do that.
Okay.
I'll leave it to these guys.
Gelmir and Tyr, give me intelligence saves, please.
Oh, crap.
19.
Okay. What'd you get, Gelmir?
6. Roll
Gelmir,
hot.
you are surrounded by 24 large spiders. And they seem to be getting ready to attack you.
Where's that teleporter? I'm going to just start stomping around trying to teleport it back.
Off to everybody else's left from the corridor entrance, you could see panic bursts of arcane light going in a circle. And then every now and then you see Gelmir get cast out, back in, out, back in. Gelmir, you take 15 points of psychic damage. And you're currently in a state of confusion.
I don't like this. We hear that.
Here, you're out there by yourself in the fog. There's bursts of arcane light going off as Gelmir seems to be in a panic. The rest of you are at that corridor entrance into this massive room, or into this massive space. You're not even sure if it's a room.
I carefully pick up Nika, kind of carrying her, hugging her close, and try and hop over the spot where I saw the magic teleport everyone else.
Give me a dex check.
Oh, Lord.
Crap. Dex. Here we go. 11.
11. So as you go to leap over, there's an explosion of arcane light. You're thrown way out into the middle of the mist, and you're now standing there. You're a little bit closer to Tyr, but you just see a very panicked Gelmir yelling and screaming, like bouncing around in these arcane explosions off to your side. But looking back from where you came from, you can see Alexander and Wintrude at that corridor entrance point. You then watch as dozens of faces of familiar patients that you've dealt with in the past, and they all seem to be trying to talk to you at the same time. Give me an intelligence save.
Intelligence. Oh, come on. 4.
4. As these dozens and dozens of voices start pouring into your mind, you take 12 points of psychic damage, and you are currently stunned.
Um,
A cacophony of accusing voices.
would I have any idea of the nature of what's going on? B, like
You give me an Arcana check.
All right. Not one.
That one.
Oh, hot damn.
You have absolutely no idea.
And then I
This
dropped the dice and it went to 20.
If this spell effect is doing what I think it's doing, I think I would actually see is basically my old clan head berating me,
Not
and
quite.
preparing to beat me.
Not quite.
Wait,
All right.
Remember, the effect doesn't have to make sense. Because your
Gotcha.
failed intelligence save is going to cause a psychic effect to occur. Both Gelmir and Shogo appear to be under some kind of strange psychic effect that has made them unable to be responsive. Tyr seemed to be able to fend it off, but Wintrude, you and Alexander are still at that beginning point, watching all this kind of unfold in front of you, but it feels like everyone's far, but it's hard to know if that's true. It's this weird kind of warping of both depth and the interaction of the space, which seems to be causing all these occurrences.
can I see Wintrude?
You can see Wintrude and Alexander at that entrance point. Yeah.
So I try to use message to send a message to Wintrude.
Okay.
I'm just like, can you hear me with the message?
Give me an intelligence save when you do that.
Oh, what the hell? 16.
16. It just barely fails, but Wintrude, do you hear Tyr's voice in your head? You should really go away now. I'm tired of you.
I'm gesturing like this to Alex. I'm like,
And then with the message, they can respond.
Yeah, you can technically respond, Wintrude.
Is everything okay, dear?
Give me an intelligence save, Wintrude.
an intelligence save.
And this is how the TPK begins.
Yeah, into madness. That's a 21.
21. Tyr, you hear the precise words come back from Wintrude, asking if you're okay.
I'll use message again, send back, and like,
Give you another intelligence
wait,
save.
let me see. Let me read this. Is there a limit to? There's no limit to what I can say.
Correct, for send versus message, right? Because it's more about distance than it is about the 25 words.
Something weird going on. Don't step into mist. An intelligence save.
Yep.
21.
You heard his message more clearly this time, Wintrude. Gelmir and Shogo, both of you give me intelligence saves again. Anything you want to do, Alexander, with this nightmare going on?
I don't know what to do.
19.
19. Shogo, the voices fade, and you get your sense back to you. You're no longer stunned. Gelmir, what'd you get?
15.
15. There are twice as many spiders, and they're getting closer. You guys can now hear Gelmir screaming and looping, and arcane like explosions. Gelmir, take another 14 points of psychic damage.
So, Alex, Tyr is using message to tell us not to go into the mist and go out there, but we have to, right? We have to go.
Well, let's go. If you want to go, I'm down. I just,
Okay.
I was trying to be, you said I was a little bit too, roamy, so I wanted to kind of keep it together.
What if we check this out? What if we just repeat to ourselves as you and I walk side by side? We're finding the exit. Wait, we just keep telling ourselves we're finding the exit.
Okay, we're finding the exit.
Okay, let's
Finding
go.
the exit.
We're finding the exit. Finding the
I'm just moving forward, hopefully with Alex going beside me.
I believe Wintrude just knows something that I don't know, and I'm just going along with it.
All right, yeah, do your thing.
So
Walking.
you two are stepping off into the room at this point?
Yeah.
Give me dex checks, please.
Dex.
This is what I didn't want.
What the heck? I'm doing
20.
Dex. Ooh, I got a 8.
Alexander, what'd you get?
20.
20. So, Wintrude, you feel an explosion of arcane energy around you, and you're cast out into the misty fog. As you get cast out there, give me an intelligence save, please.
A save?
Yep.
Save. An intelligence save. That's a 15.
15. As you stand there, you are suddenly bombarded with voices of your past during your studies at Candlekeep. While you can see Gelmir off to your side, panicking and running in circles, there's a moment that you could see Tyr and Shogu and they're just staring at you like you suddenly appeared. But now you feel a cacophony of voices of academia, teachers, voices of just constant anger and confusion as you are currently stunned and take 9 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
very
Alexander,
This isn't a fear thing, right? Though it's not a fear
No.
situation. Okay.
nope, you're just stunned from the psychic pounding of voices. For you, Alexander, you're now on the other side of the chamber. Behind you, you can see Tyr and Shogo. You can see Gelmir off in the distance doing laps and yelling about spiders trying to eat him. You can hear Wintrude yelling, "Leave me alone, leave me alone." And then you're now standing in front of a stone wall with strange runes on them.
Strange runes?
Yes.
Stone wall, strange runes, and do I feel okay? I'm gonna use Mage Hand to kind of inspect sort of like how the runes are placed in the wall.
Okay. Give me investigation with advantage, because you're using Mage Hand to kind of glow the wall and to get a more vibrant look at how the wall is organized.
25.
Okay.
Nice roll, dang. Nice roll.
I spec'd
There
into
is
investigation
a
'cause I was-
center rune
dungeons.
that seems to depict an image of Blackcloak, Halaster Blackcloak. Below him are 7 runes that you do not recognize. You've never seen them before. And then, as a backdrop to the 7 runes, there are 7 representation of tombs.
Mhm.
On each of the tomb is a name of each of the disciples.
So I was assuming. Okay, so are there any runes missing?
It does not appear that there's any spot for additional runes.
Okay, can I tell if there is something I need to do here?
You sound like me trying to solve puzzles.
I would say with that same investigation, the runes almost seem recessed in. And there are little tendrils of channels that connect to the 7 different tombs.
Okay.
5 of the tomb names do look familiar to you, but the challenge is how to decipher the 7 runes. The 7 runes all seem to be... Ooh, give me a history check as you study the runes a little bit more in depth.
Oh,
still-
does my book that I have, I can't even remember, does that help? at all?
About the yeah, I'd actually be okay with that because that was a lot of history about the 7 and the disciples.
So advantage or regular or plus? Well,
Yeah, you get advantage on the roll for history.
good, because the first one was a 1. 16?
16. The first rune that comes across your eye is a common name vernacular for the human name Anna. The first room might be a short name for Annabelle.
Okay. And all of my allies, they're not like, none of them are available.
No, both Shogo and Tyr are out in the mist. Both Wintrude and Gelmir are affected by it. Shogo and Tyr, give me fresh intelligence saves, please.
I will use Mage Hand to see if I can pull out that rune or push that rune in for the one for Annabelle.
All right, give me a strength check with advantage or sleight of hand, your choice.
14.
14 for Tyr. Shogo?
15.
15. For you, Shogo, the voices return. Even worse, louder. A cacophony of voices pounding in your mind, in your head, as you take 8 points of psychic damage, and you're currently stunned. Tyr, you are back in the tavern playing for Xanathar's people, and they are currently throwing daggers and chasing you down, yelling vulgarities at your horrible music skills, as you take 9 points of
Hey,
psychic
fuck you
damage.
guys.
Is it 18?
What'd you get?
18.
18. The rune that's short for Annabelle, or the term Anna in common vernacular, it pushes in, and when it does, you watch as a light of energy forms in the channel that connects to one of the tombs. And as it connects with that tomb, you watch as a ghostly figure floats in front of it, and you recognize it as the visage of Annabelle that you've already encountered previously. Both recess in. You can hear a distant kind of sound, a clanging sound. The rune and the tomb both descend into the wall and disappear, leaving 6 runes and 6 tomb representations. Part of Halaster's form starts to activate.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to identify the other tombs that we are familiar with.
Okay. You do
And
recognize
push
the
those in.
tomb of Crinix, Theo, Winx, and Zeno.
Okay, so those are the 4 that I'm gonna push in
So as you match
using
and-
Mage Hand.
Yeah, in order of your representation. They all eventually descend in. The majority of the Halaster image is becoming more pronounced outward, the energy filling the space, the illusion beginning to form. There are 2 runes left and 2 tombs left.
Okay.
One of the tombs looks a lot like the effigy of the scales that you saw in the previous chamber.
Okay, I'm gonna head. Well, I guess I could try to push it, but I think I need to figure out that effigy first. Yeah, I'm gonna head back to try to figure out this. And I'm going to. Can I make it back? I can make it back to this effigy, right? Pretty easily without.
You'd have to cross back through the fog chamber and then go back up the corridor and into the main chamber where the balanced scales were.
Okay, I'm gonna try to push the rune anyways, just because I'm here.
Give me a fresh sleight of hand.
I think this is gonna. I'm using Mage Hand, by the way, and
Okay.
that's a 1, so that's a 3.
3. As you go to push in the rune, you watch as the mage hand dissipates and you're cast back into the fog. And as you're cast back into the fog,
I knew this was shitty. Guys.
you land in the midst of the fog. Give me an intelligence save.
I knew I shouldn't have touched it. It's a 4.
4. You are in the fighting arena in Skullport. You're surrounded by hundreds of challengers that begin physically descending upon you, and you can feel them beating down on you with weapons and their armaments and calling out vulgarities while they do it. Take 9 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned. Gelmir and Wintrude, give me fresh intelligence saves.
Intelligence.
Just went straight for the effigy.
11.
11. Wintrude, you are being berated by what you thought was one of your favorite teachers, professors at Candlekeep. And he's currently lashing at you, this huge stream of hate and anger, disappointment at your ignorance, your inability to be intelligent. As you take another 9 points of psychic damage. Gelmir, you are slowly being consumed by a massive spider. You take 8 points of psychic damage, and you feel your body being sucked into its mandibles.
I want to start shooting.
Okay. Give me a couple attack rolls.
13, 17, and 22.
Shogo, what's your armor class?
Let me see. Armor class is 15.
Okay. Tyr, what's your armor class?
Right now, 19.
19. And Wintrude, what's your armor class?
17.
Okay. So, Shogo, you feel a crossbow bolt slam into your buttocks, just right into the hip. It wakes you out of your stupor, and as you open your eyes, you're on the ground of a very small stone chamber. To your left, you can see Wintrude and Gelmir just writhing on the ground. Not making any noise. They're just on the ground, writhing on the ground. To your right, you can see Alexander curled up into a fetal position like he's trying to protect himself. And he's like rolling around on the ground. But then you see Tyr next to Alexander with an arrow sticking out of his side. And the two of you look at each other for a moment, realizing there's no fog. It's not a massive chamber. It's maybe a 200 square foot room. And you can see a partially executed series of runes on a wall only about 20 feet away from you.
I start basically. I start
So everything I
ordering.
described for Alexander, you could see on the wall. The only difference is there's two that are not active yet. There's 2 runes and 2 corresponding tombs, and the illusionary effigy of Halaster Blackcloak slowly coming into realization. The other 5 runes are pressed in, and 5 of the tombs are lit up.
I recognize that it looks very similar to that same sequence that we did to open the arcane gate
Yes,
earlier.
it looks almost exactly like it.
So I'm going to walk towards the runes, making basically I grab and kind of rub at my bandages to keep inflicting physical pain upon myself to keep myself grounded.
Okay.
And I put in the sequence that we did for the gate earlier.
As you complete the sequence, the Halaster illusion just bursts out of the wall. A thin arcane light from top to bottom appears. The wall starts sliding open in front of you. Alexander, Wintrude, and Gelmir, you're no longer under the psychic effect. All 5 of you are now cognizant of yourselves. More importantly, Wintrude, Gelmir, and Alexander are. Gelmir, you're no longer being consumed by a spider, but you do have your crossbow. Wintrude, the psychic image fades. Alexander, the psychic image fades. As the 3 of you come to, you can see where Shogu and Tyr are over by the runic wall as it parts open.
I sprint through it.
Sugar, how did you open it?
It reminded me of the gate we found earlier. The same sequence worked. These disciples seem very narcissistic. Like their history is the answer to everything.
All right.
Oh, I gotta write that. Hang on a second.
And then I pull out one of my blank journals that I rummaged from that dimensional room, and I'm like D for disciple and making notes.
Gelmir, give me a perception check as you go running down into the darkened hallway.
Oh wait, no, I tripped him
So
before. I
bad.
want to trip him before he dies.
You reach out to trip him. Gelmir, give me we'll make it a contest. Athletics or acrobatics for the two of you. High
Well, I
roll
have
win.
advantage on that.
All right,
21.
19.
So as you go to try to stop him here, he just kind of jumps over and around you, and you just hear his feet as he's running down the hallway with Gribbets in tow. Geber, what'd you get for your perception check?
20.
20. As you go running through the hallway, you're immediately in, within 50 feet, you're right into another round chamber. And in the middle of the chamber is a mirror. It's 6 feet tall, 2 feet wide. It appears to be some kind of metal mirror that's just standing in the very center of the chamber.
I'll yell back to everyone. Hey, everyone, I found a mirror. I'm going to shoot it.
I'm just like, and I'm in the middle of taking notes, and I with my quill.
Gelmir, please don't do that, please.
Hang on! We have to get the arrow out of Shogo first!
Yeah, you guys do that, and I'll shoot the mirror.
Oh yeah, how much damage did that arrow do?
I leave that up to Gelmir if you want to roll. Well, if you, I would say, let's just do minimum damage on it. 'Cause it wasn't like it was an aimed shot or anything.
6 is minimum.
6.
Got it.
Thanks for burning my temporary hit points, Gelmir, you ass.
This place sucks.
Alright, but we have to keep Gelmir from doing something so magically horrible that it compromises or kills all of us. But Shogo, would you like? We got to give you some assistance to get this arrow out, correct? Or is your medical expertise enough to just give you a moment?
With a wet sound, I just tug the arrow out. Like a small jet of blood and this other viscous green liquid spurts out, and then simply
Viscous, thank you.
uh,
Happy Sunday.
yeah. In half a second, the wound coagulates, and I start shambling towards Gelmir.
I do run to the next chamber, at least to the entrance. I don't go all the way in, but I take a look. And then
You don't have to. Shooting is not a solution.
that's all I can think of to say.
It actually was the solution to the last puzzle, though. So.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
What? I did it? I solved the last one?
So what's going on in the mirror room?
So for all of you that are now at the edge of the corridor, staring into this another round chamber with a mirror.
I'm not looking at it. Also,
Okay.
I'm looking right at it.
I'm gonna send message to Gelmir and ask him what he sees.
It's
What do you
non-reflective, Gelmir.
It's just like shiny. I think I should shoot it.
Why?
Can I attempt to? Is any of the mirrors? Do they look like they're latched onto the wall?
It's
Is it the
just
wall
one
itself?
single mirror in the center of the room on a stand. It's 6 feet tall by 2 feet wide, and it appears to be non-reflective.
Yeah, I would say
But there
don't
is dim
touch
light
that.
in here, which is strange.
Gelmir,
Yeah.
let's steal the mirror.
That's pretty good too.
I
Yeah,
recommend you don't touch that mirror.
Gelmir, I'll use my mage hand. We'll try to take the mirror. We'll put it in your bag.
Yeah.
Just another thing to throw in there.
All right. I'll roll out the hole and I'm gonna put it behind the mirror.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm
Push it
gonna
in.
use my
before-
mage hand to try to push it in.
Wait, before they do
Unfortunately,
that,
the mirror feels like it weighs more than 10, 15 pounds, so the mage hand is unable to move it backwards.
Wait, there's two of you, right? There's two of you with mage hands.
I could charge it. Like I could run into it. I'm gonna take a running start and run into the mirror. I'm trying to throw you off.
Before they run their little heist, I want to run up to the mirror and use my little circlet of self. What is it? I forget what it's called. Like change image. I want to change into Granji the Bold. I want to look like him.
Okay. So, at the moment that Alexander charges the mirror to knock it backwards into Gelmir's portable hole, you watch as Tyr invokes his circlet, and based on the knowledge that he has of Granji, turns into an image, or turns into what he feels that Granji the Bold would look like. And as soon as he does, the mirror activates. There's like this flood of energy up the face of the mirror, just as Alexander disappears inside the mirror.
Damn mirror.
And now Gelmir's behind it. Shogo and Wintred are slightly behind Tyr. Tyr now looks like Granji the Bold. The mirror is now fluctuating with a pattern of energy.
Who did that?
Somebody else pushing in now.
Do there appear to be any other like doors or passageways?
There are no other doors or passageways in this round room that you could currently see.
Can we see into the mirror at all? Can I see?
It is a bright glow of energy currently, like a bright yellow-green glow of energy that's non-reflective and seems to be absorbing what little bit of dim light is in this chamber.
Gelmir, could you send Gribbets to look inside?
Yeah.
I will reimburse you if Gribbets is compromised.
Yeah, I'll roll up the hole, and while I'm doing that, I'll have Gribbets walk in. Okay, just go ahead, and then come back.
Okay, so as you roll up the hole, you watch as Gribbets floats into it and disappears.
It doesn't come back, is what you're saying.
Can you see through their eyes?
No, I can't do that.
I'll change back to normal. Does that change the mirror at all?
As you change back to normal, you watch as the mirror shuts down and goes back to just this non-reflective, like glass surface.
All right, I'm changing back again immediately.
It's now active again.
All right, boys, go, 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 go!
All right,
jump in that foxhole.
So when Tyr's screaming that, though, of course, I'm in like in my journals, like J through something with M, and I'm like, I close the book, I put the quill in the book, and I just jump through.
Who else is jumping through?
Shogo, are you gonna jump, or am I gonna?
Yeah, I clutch Mika with me and kind of jump in back first, so that Mika's second behind me.
Okay.
If I feel any pain, I'm going to immediately let go of Mika and shove her away.
So you
from
jump
the mirror.
in. What are you doing there, Tyr?
Oh, just take a quick moment to take a breath.
And right now, you don't see anybody else. The mirror is still glowing with that soft glow of arcane energy. You still look like Granji the Bold. The mirror's active. The chamber shows no other signs of exits, but everybody else has jumped either unwittingly through, or you've encouraged them through the mirror at this point.
Yeah, I'll stick my head in and just go follow through.
Okay. As you pull yourself through, all five of you, including Gribbets, are in a square chamber that looks to be the tomb entrance door to Granji. These two huge metal bronze doors, they seem to be closed tightly with the face of like a wizard with its cowl pulled forward as the binding point of the two doors. The room itself is maybe about 200 square feet. Each door 10 feet tall by 5 feet wide. They look like they open in or outward towards you. There are two sconces, one on the right, one on the left, look like where you put torches. The floor that you're standing on is perfectly smooth, almost like it's carved completely out of stone.
I'm gonna take this chance to just moonwalk across the floor real quick. We're working on this one.
What sorcery is this?
How? I've never seen a bard slide backwards before. Is this part of the magic to solve the puzzle?
I was hoping it would be, but I don't think so.
Oh, I haven't seen nothing's happening.
Well, that's because it's brand new. They didn't even know about it when they were making these puzzles. So, like, they couldn't. It would be the solution if they knew about that, but they didn't.
So you said we got two sconces, right? Where
one to the right, one to the left.
But
the
not
two bronze doors, and then like a relief or image of a wizard with their cowl pulled forward, binding the two doors together.
Are the sconces lit?
They are not.
They are not.
I go to light the sconces with do I have a way to just light them? What can I light?
I light a torch and place. The sconces are empty, right?
They are.
All right. I'm just going to place a torch.
I place the other torch. I have a torch too, and the other one.
So with that, each of you place one torch on the right, one torch on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you place them, you watch as the cowled image takes on like a watery effect, and its face pulses out towards you. I have 3 riddles for you.
You get one.
Answer them correctly, and you are allowed to pass into my inner sanctum. Answer them incorrectly. You never leave.
Blah blah blah. Yeah,
again.
You guys are being fucking weird.
Richard's like, I'm just trying to write this down. I speak without a mouth, and I hear without ears. I have no body, but come alive with the wind. What am I?
Is it fire, guys? Is it fire?
Sorry, what was that? Speak without a mouth, hear
With
With
no
no
ears, but
ears.
come alive with the wind.
Is it fire?
Is it?
I tug on Tyr's
hear with no ears.
on clothes.
Is it an echo?
Is it fire?
But
Is it water?
I'm gonna
You
send a message.
watch as you hear Wintrude say echo, both of the sconces go out, and they're immediately replaced by thin wisps of wind curling from the sconces. And you can see that the cowled imagery kind of gets this discordant look on its face. Very good.
You cheated, Wintrude. This is ridiculous.
I just panicked, like in a sort of surprise and panic look from Alex saying that back up to Tyr, because I was just tugging, trying to say, like, because I rely on Tyr to be like all clever and
I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me.
Clouds.
It's fire.
Rain.
As Tyr yells clouds, the
Come on,
wind in the torches change to
This guy's moonwalking. This is blasphemy.
the wind, like the wind in the sconces change because it went from fire to wind, and now there's like this earthen, bubbly energy in each of the sconces. And then the final riddle: I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have rivers but no water. What am I?
Is this one fire?
A map.
Cities but no house.
Oh, I
shit,
was
that was
thinking
really
that.
good, Alex.
I was thinking that too.
And
Whoa.
as soon as he says map, the effigy gets absorbed back into the bronze doors. You hear this thunk. As the effigy dissipates and the sconces go out, the bronze doors slide open. And you watch as this chamber lights up in front of you. You can see about 100 feet in front of you a 10-foot wide stairwell that leads up to a steel iron door. To the right of the stairwell and the left of the stairwell, two 20-foot tall iron statues. Each one carrying these huge two-handed halberds. And they're like standing in repose, right? They're like they're guarding. Between them and the stairwell in this chamber, you notice that the chamber floor is crawling with small bits of tile that seem to shift as you watch it. And the tile floor is shifting. They combine for a moment and they shift apart again. Glyphs kind of puff into existence. Things move and shift and move and shift. There's never really a point that you see the floor take a solid form.
What's the distance between the moving floor and the stairs?
From where you guys are standing and where the beginning of the stairwell is, 100 feet.
From the beginning of the moving tiles, or the moving tiles are right in front of us?
The moving tiles are right in front of you.
Okay, can I use my mage hand to touch the moving tiles to see if there's any sort of interaction?
As it touches, there's an explosion jet of fire that flames upwards where it touches.
Well, that doesn't look good.
I'm fire resistant.
Can I go gaseous form and then just float over the 100 feet and then turn back to normal on the stationary
You
stairs?
watch as Gelmir invokes their gaseous form.
I hope
and
your
starts-
gas is flammable.
I was gonna touch the tile as he said. No, I'm not gonna do that.
And you watch as Gelmir floats over the floor and onto the stairs and re-solidifies at the foot of the stairs. Gelmir, now that you're on the stairs looking up, they only go up about 20 feet to this huge iron door. And as you land on the stairs, give me a deck save, please.
Uh-oh.
God, I'm rolling not good. 14.
14. As you land on the stairs, one of the statues comes alive, and you watch as this massive halberd comes swinging towards you, slams into you, as you take 41 points of slashing damage.
He's not gonna let us get across this without figuring out the puzzle.
Well, actually, if
it'd
deck
be
save,
funny.
it would have been fine. I'm surprised he rolled a 14.
I have a +8. I just have been rolling like shit today.
Yeah.
Guys, there's halberds on this side that are real bad.
We saw.
And you watch as the trap resets itself.
I'm just gonna go back to gaseous form.
Put it back into gaseous form. Just kind of hovering at the foot of the stairs.
Open
And
the
with that,
door, Gelmir.
Let's go ahead and take our 5-minute break. And when we get back, we'll do the second half.
I love it. God damn Ghelfi.
And we are back. I swear, sometimes these puzzle and trap things, Zach, cause you guys more harm than a combat do.
I think that is certainly in line with her characters. Like, even like that really cold pond with the clams.
Yeah. The frost
It doesn't
clam.
take much. Like seeing places where like the walls are shifting and like forming and unforming like that. They're pretty to look at, but not fun to try and traverse.
Hello, Richard. Keep calm and carry on.
Some of this I kind of get like I don't know. I was getting like a Time Bandits vibe at some point. You know, like just running around and things.
Very astute of you.
think
I
there's a
built
door
this
and-
level of the dungeon based on the Time Bandit's physical appearance.
Yeah.
One of my most influential favorite movies I've ever watched.
I just remember when that movie
What
came
movie?
out.
Time Bandits.
It's a good one.
No idea.
Yeah, check it out when you get a chance. It's an amazing, amazing movie.
It's Terry Gilliam, right? Who directed that, wrote and directed
I believe
that.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
It very much feels like you're watching Monty Python on acid.
Oh my god.
The whole journey is just so Monty Python.
It's also very 80s in the sense that like we kind of had it was, you know, we didn't have like specifically just movies for kids. It was like this has a childlike feel to it, but there's also like a darkness and a very adult sensibility about Time Bandits that like in other movies like Indiana Jones. Like you think about those movies, they were I think like Indiana Jones was like rated G stuff that was just like it's general, just go see it. Like don't
Like the whole part with Robin Hood.
no, but there's just like back then it was just it's a movie. Like go see it. It's,
Yeah. So what you guys can currently see is Gelmir is on the base of the stairs in gaseous form, warning all of you that the statues seem to react once you get to the stairs. Whether or not they're connected to the floor, you're not sure. The iron doors at the top of the stairs, you guys are on the other side of the room, staring across this shifting arcane floor. 4 of you are on one side, Gelmir over by the stairs. What would you guys like to do?
Can we send... No, that wouldn't work. I was wondering if we could get Gelmir to tie a rope on the other end so that we could climb over whatever we call this ground, but...
Or you could do that
You
with ribbits. You can fly it over.
That's true. Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys have Gribbets fly the rope over. It arcs over. Gribbets is sitting there flying, holding the rope in his teeth.
Well, why don't we try to figure out there's got to be a puzzle. It's a puzzle.
Yeah, that's the thing Alex was bringing up right before the break was. But
I mean, you feel free to investigate the floor if you want to.
I will
Just-
investigate the floor.
I will investigate the statues. With the
Okay, give me
and how that's
investigation.
connected.
Yeah, investigation for the statues from Alex and Wintrude investigating the floor.
It's a 27.
Okay.
19.
19. From Alex, your perspective, they're connected. As long as this floor remains active, you feel like those statues could remain active while you're on the stairs. Wintrude, as you stare at the floor, they are in 4 distinct patterns, but they never align.
Mm.
And they are shifting patterns of 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water.
Oh, so it's like kind of like zones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they constantly
populating.
shift and pattern and then come out of pattern, but they basically have representations of the 4 elements baked into the shifting tiles on the floor.
Is So, for example, is like fire within reach? Is that like, or like where I would be able to manipulate it or do
Standing
something
where
with it?
you are,
Yeah.
there are 4 nearby tiles. There's a
Oh,
fire
you're saying, oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking like large chunks of tiles with like sort of.
No,
more-
like each of the individual tiles seem to be made up of individual representations of the 4 elements.
There
And
four.
here's
So there's 4 massive tiles.
No, there's hundreds of small tiles, like
Oh, that makes sense.
foot size, and each one of those tiles has a representation of the 4
What are
elements.
the 4?
Because it's kind
Earth,
of like when
wind,
you.
fire, and water.
So I'm gonna take some of my water from my canteen and just spill it, like try to follow a water tile and just spill it on there to see what happens.
You watch as the water kind of like splashes along the tile, but no
Nothing.
change.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to take the. I'm gonna try to take some water and pour it on the fire tile.
Ooh.
As you take some water and pour it onto the fire tile, you watch as it immediately solidifies. The tile's no longer moving and rests at a solid state and is no longer moving.
There you go.
And now
Okay.
near that tile are 3 other shifting tiles: earth, wind, and water.
Did all the fires stop, or just that fire?
Just that fire tile did.
Okay, so I take the torch and I hit it to the earth.
Nothing happens.
I do it to
Water!
the water.
As you do it to the water, that water tile solidifies, and it's in alignment with the fire tile that's solidified. And now you see 3 more tiles near it: earth, water, and fire.
How big are the tiles though that are?
About, like bathroom-sized tiles,
Okay, since there's just such a large amount of tiles, instead of me trying to figure out all the other ones, I'm gonna just try to effectively, while stepping on one tile, using fire on the water and water on the fire, try to do it and then walk across and create a path.
All right. You guys
get
watch
better.
as Alexander, using both fire and water, begins to create a pathway that gets him about the halfway point towards the stairs. And it's a big enough pathway for you guys to each individually follow. And he's at that 50-foot mark. And as he reaches that 50-foot mark, the tiles begin to do the same pattern shifting again, but this time all the tiles are earth and air only, shifting around you.
I'm gonna hop back, and I'm gonna grab just a scoop of dirt. Or before I do that, I don't even get. I go all the way back, and before I try to cross everything over again, I take some dirt and put it on the air just to see what happens.
Okay. As you plunk it on the air, you watch as the tile goes solid.
I
We're
lean,
gonna-
Sorry, go
I
ahead,
lean
Jacob.
down best I can, unmask the bottom of my face and gently blow on one of the earth tiles.
As you blow on the earth tile, it goes solid. And
I'm gonna
freezes
take
in
off
place.
my cloak and use that to fan the earth tiles.
Okay. So between the 4 of you, finally
Use thaumaturgy and scream.
yeah, like
Stop
you begin-
tiles.
you begin to figure out that earth is air, air is earth, just like fire is water, as water is to fire. As you kind of like figure out these 4 elements in their alignment and pattern, eventually it allows you to get to the foot of the stairs where you watch the last of the 4 tiles go solid at the foot of the stairs. You hear these 2 huge metal, like chambered cogs, like release, and you watch as both statues turn away and grind away to like face each other with their halberds at repose. And then you watch as you hear like a thunk, and then the metal door starts to swing open. at the top
I
of the
s-
stairs.
I sprint
Is that-
past everybody and go through the metal door.
I need the Zelda sound effect to accompany it again as it keeps doing it. Like somebody off camera there. It's like-
That's my text tone.
Is that your
You
phone
guys-
or is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I go
that's
through
hilarious.
Gelmir in gaseous form, and I just book past him.
Yeah,
right
like
through the door.
Gelmir, you just watch as. By the way, Griffith's still holding the rope.
Yeah.
You watch as Alexander passes through the gaseous cloud, and it like dissipates around him. Alexander, you get to the top of the stairs. The doorway is open. You're staring into a 100-foot deep by 20-foot wide chamber. In the middle of the chamber, a sarcophagus up on a pedestal. Behind the sarcophagus, you can see a stone sarcophagus standing upwards. It's open. The lid is like swung open, and there's a mummified figure inside the standing up sarcophagus. The one on the ground is still sealed. All around you are representations of the elements, the 4 different elements. You can see a small bronze statue of the balance of scales. And you could also see a particular statue that looks to be like the image of an unknown figure that you haven't seen before. And at the base of that statue is a name. And in common, that name is Chenix. Chenix the Witted.
The what?
The Witted. Witted.
And I see no like other doors or anything like that.
Nothing else that you can see in the chamber.
The sarcophagus is slightly ajar, you said?
The one standing up is, and the lid's open, and you can see into it, and there's a mummy, like a mummified figure inside of it. The other sarcophagus is lying flat on the ground with the lid still on top of it. There is a bronze-scaled statue that reminds you of the effigy of the one before, but this one's a lot smaller, of the 2 scales of balance. And in the back right-hand corner of the tomb, you can see a statue of a wizard, a figure that you had never seen before, and the name Chenix the Witted at the base of the statue. And then all the walls are decorated in representations of the 4 elements.
How big are the scales this time?
The bronze statue this time is only 4 foot tall, and the scales are 2 feet across. It looks exactly like the large one you saw, but in this case, the scales are level with each other.
I walk up towards the scale, inspecting it to see if it's just like a prop or if it actually can do something, and then I take my mage hand and I try to like push up and down on the scales as well.
All right, give me an investigation check as you're doing that. What about the rest of you?
I'll turn back into Gelmir form.
Okay.
And
23.
Shoot the mummy.
Give me a die roll as you shoot at the mummy.
14.
Or it bounces off the lid, rebounds off the lid, and then the crossbow bolt kind of like settles onto the floor.
Watch it, Gelmir.
I just give Gelmir a judgmental stare.
For the elemental stuff, does it seem to favor any one element or maybe a mixture of the 2?
Give me either a history check or a nature check. Your choice.
19.
19. It does seem to be trying to depict a story. At first, the majority of the elements to the right are all about the story of flame. And then how flame becomes earth, how the gods wept so that the earth could have water, and how the anger of the gods turned into air. Almost like it's describing the idea of celestial existence, the creation of the world, from fire to earth to water to air. It seems to be depicting the idea of the creation of the world.
Creation story.
I got a 23 on the scale inspection.
Okay. Before I resolve Alexander, Gelmir, you took a shot at the mummy. Tyr, you're examining the walls. Wintrude and Shogo, anything you want to do?
Without touching it, I do want to closely inspect the mummy assume that's
Okay.
kind of the lid's kind of slid open.
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you begin to examine that one.
I'll stick with Wintrude. I am most curious about the cadaver.
It's a 15.
15. So as you examine the statue, Alex, it looks functional. The scales actually tilt up and down. As the mage hand pushes the scale down one side and releases it, however, it goes back to balance. If you do the same thing to the left side, it goes down and you release it and it goes back to balance. The statue appears to be functional and it has purpose, but you're not entirely sure what that purpose is. However, at the base of the statue, there in common is the following phrase. His word is truth. His world is lies. Is what it says at the base of the scales. His word is truth. His world is lies.
It's fire.
He's a writer.
As I'm like contemplating that, I pull out my torch and try to burn the mummy.
So, Winthrop, as you're standing there examining the mummy, you watch as Alexander comes over with a torch and goes to plunge the torch into the mummified remains.
Can I
As
try
he
and stop him?
does, you give me a deck save, Shogo. See if you can try to stop him.
It's fire, earth.
I like it.
Water.
6.
6?
I kind of feebly
Yeah, and
grab at him.
he easily gets in between you and Wintrude. As soon as the torch gets near the mummy, it goes out. And you watch as Alexander pulls the torch back. It's just wisps of smoke coming off the torch.
Does anyone have any books on them? On
No,
the person?
I think Wintrude has a lot of books.
I thought you had a book about a fucking chemistry or something, Alex.
No, I gave that book away.
I'll give it to Ryan.
Pretty sure. I mean, I could look, but it's in the backpack. It's all the way down there.
Damn your generous nature, Alex.
So the word is truth, world is
But that
lies.
was part of the storytelling. That was me telling a truth, but it could be the world is a lie.
I mean, as you do that, nothing happens. I mean, other than everyone looks really confused as to why Alex is lying about the book.
Is that on the scale? That's on the statue of the scale.
Correct.
I have this. I still have this goblin spell book. I'll put it on one of the.
I don't know if I have the book.
Do you put it on the left or the right?
Put it on the left.
As you set the book on the left, the scale does not change. Does not move as you add the weight. The scale on the left stays even with the scale on the right.
Okay, so on the right we need to add lies.
I'll jump on the right one.
It's a little too small for you to jump on.
I'll hang from it.
It doesn't budge.
This world is lies. What could be
Just
a
put another
lie?
book. Word is truth. World is lies. Has to do with like an author. It's a book. Whatever you say is the truth, but the world that you're building is a lie.
We're out of bucks.
Where's your romance now? Wintrude, write. I know you've been writing on the romance stuff. Put your newest copy on.
Well,
Hurry up! No, shut the fuck up.
I don't want Gelmir to hear, but
when I pulled the card out of the deck, I lost everything.
I know you've been writing again though. Here, take some paper and a quill. Write something down.
What about a deck? All right.
Write something steamy.
Gelmir,
we
your
don't keep
treasure
secrets,
book.
so you gotta tell everybody.
Gelmir, your treasure book.
I don't have a treasure book.
Gelmir, I know you have a treasure book.
I don't have a treasure book.
That treasure book is complete lies.
So I just kind of look at,
Okay.
and then I start just writing out a little scene about a hero named Rogier tearing at the bodice of
I'll
Lizette,
be watching over her shoulder. You're very naughty, Wintrude.
putting in all the romance novel catchphrases like bodice and swelling and
This is overly prosaic, Wintrude. I mean, I'm just
Overly
saying.
prosaic. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What's that?
and then I tear it and then I put it on the scale.
Yeah. You watch as both scales go down equally at the same pace. You then watch as the lid of the sarcophagus mummy closes, and then you hear the hermetic release of the sarcophagus on the floor. You can see like dust and air kind of puff out as the sarcophagus on the floor, the lid slightly bumps up.
If he's got boots, I want him.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I love how everybody's just going to claim some loot already. It's like we haven't gotten anywhere near that stage.
Is this okay? Somebody help me figure this out. Is this Chenix and Grangie in the same tomb?
They were lovers.
I don't know.
Ooh, wait a second.
And then I go to a journal that I labeled that has R included in it.
Romance novel idea 2, wizard lovers, same tomb. Okay, back to this. Let's see. Where was my head? Sorry.
Wintrude, where did all your stuff go? Why don't you have things anymore?
Oh, there. That dimensional zone we were in with the other wizard did some bad magic to my possessions.
They were stolen by a spider person, actually.
Yeah.
We didn't want to tell you because we didn't want you to be scared.
They don't have those arms and legs.
Yeah.
They're crafty.
Got to point this way because that's where
I use Mage Hand to try to like. Is the sarcophagus on the floor completely open or just the seals?
Like it's slightly bumped up. Like the lid could be shoved open.
I try to shove it with my Mage Hand.
Too heavy.
I try to shove it with my hands.
Give me a strength check
I assist him after
with advantage.
ordering Mika to stand back.
Okay.
I don't think I'm tall enough, so it's not going to do me any good to try to.
Nat 20, baby, 21.
Nice. You watch as he shifts. The lid slides off, and the moment
Way to
the
get
lid
big,
slides
Alex.
off, there's this burst of darkened energy that kind of like cascades out of the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Get down,
And
Mr. President.
there's this like laughter that fills the room, and you watch as this shade-like creature circle the room for a moment, and then like you could hear this like sense of just maniacal laughter and shriek of joy from the shade as it shreds out of existence.
Before it disappears, just for an experiment, I'm going to cast banishment on it.
As you attempt to cast banishment on it, you don't feel like your spell has a target. So as you go to cast banishment on it, your spell comes into existence. It tries to focus on what you perceived as a target, and then it just vanishes, shreds out of existence. And
You're welcome.
inside the sarcophagus that you guys just opened up, Alex, you look down. There's a mummified corpse inside, and the only thing it's holding in its mummified hands that are at the breast of its form is a glass key.
I use a torch and I try to burn it. Burn the mummy.
Why do we
Put the
keep
torch in there, and as you put it in there, the mummy catches on fire immediately. And it's almost like, you know how like a mantle of a Coleman lantern, when once it's on fire, it just catches? The entire thing catches and burns out at the same time. You watch as the ashen pile just kind of lays at the bottom of the sarcophagus. There's the glass key that's sitting in there, but you can also see the remains of like an iron belt that must have been around its waist. And those are the only 2 items left inside of the sarcophagus.
Everything burns.
Oh man, that smells great.
I use Mage Hand to pick up the belt.
Mage Hand goes in, picks up the belt. You watch as the belt, made of iron, like aggregated iron loops that are set together with this strange looking belt buckle that might like bring it together and pulls it out of the sarcophagus. The only thing still in there is a glass key.
I hop in and try to fish out the key or grab it.
Sorry, sifting around, there's the key in front
Is
of you.
it like this? Is like just a
Yeah, it's
key?
pretty
Or...
good size. It's about 6
or-
inches long, 2 inches
Okay.
wide. And you grab the glass key.
Alexander, I would just like to mention that I could have talked to this person.
Oh, you want the belt, and then I throw him the belt.
Why don't we talk to the other one?
I'm not sure we can get that one open anymore.
I
And
think
he
my
also
silver
tried to
box-
light that one on fire, so...
But they don't know that.
It was a trap, Shogo. You didn't see it. It says in the walls. It says fire. You do everything fire first. You burn it first, and then once you burn it, then it will show. I mean, you could have touched the mummy. It could have killed you.
Okay, so we've released possibly another evil spirit into the world.
I won't burn any more money.
That's great.
Well-
I mean, like, we're almost done, right? How many of these are we supposed to be let out?
7.
So far, that makes 6.
Well, the other
we
guy
almost
is-
got a full set.
Didn't Rahi, like, crush one of them into pieces? Like, she tore one apart. I think it was Zeno.
As far as you can remember about Rahi's interaction with it, yeah.
Who wants to put on the belt?
I'll do it.
fairly
I'm-
fashionable, I think.
I put it on since he threw it to me for some reason. I assume I would need to attune to it if it has any magical effect.
Possibly. You guys watch as Shogo puts on the belt.
Yeah,
Uh,
Shogo, work.
It kind of magically adjusts to a size and kind of forms. But for the time being, nothing happens when you put it on.
But you look stunning.
You look stunning, Shogo.
It really
I
puts the
will
odds
admit
on
that is the
together.
first time someone has told me that. But
That's a chunk of I put that into Chat GPT like a little love scene between a wizard and a necromancer just to see what it would write. I was like, well, what did Wintrude come up with?
Well, how does it finish? It cut it off at the end.
There's only so much it lets you paste into this chat space, but
I don't
I'm
think.
just kidding.
I think that is too PG for Wintrude, actually.
yeah, I would have. I was
From
given
what
it
tier
directions
have
off the fly. I would have had to if you give it directions, you can get stuff like paused
Entangled
and-
in forbidden embrace.
Yes.
Wintrude, you didn't write the word bulge in there once.
No throbbing.
Their lips met in a fervent
No supple.
collision, a tumultuous union that transcended the boundaries of their magical realms. In that moment, time stood still as their lips moved in perfect synchrony, breathing life into a love that defied convention. Their love was a spell, casting aside the shadows of their past and immersing them in a blissful enchantment that only they could create.
What if I
Where-
cast a spell magic on their love?
When are you ready your first book, Wintrude? I definitely think we could sell a lot of copies. Not that I want to read it, I just want to sell it.
Okay, so Eddie, where's the keyhole at? Let's get out of here. Where's the keyhole at?
Yeah, where's the keyhole at?
Oh,
Oh, it's in the belt. The keyhole's in the belt.
It's a chastity belt.
And I start
I
inspecting,
assume I would have recognized if it was a chastity belt.
Magical chastity belt.
I start inspecting the belt on Shogo uncomfortably.
Yeah,
Does it
give
have
me
a
an
buckle
investigation
with
check,
a
as you're like, got
keyhole?
your face in his buckle.
Yeah. Do I find a keyhole?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh my god.
Can I check the?
That's
other
unnecessary.
sarcophagus?
But I
Say
did
that
get a
again, Gelmir?
23.
I did
Other
get a
sarcophagus?
Yeah.
Sure, give me investigation.
22. Highest
Okay.
roll of the day.
I mean, the only thing that's noticeable about the way the belt latches in place, it's got a bronze piece that brings it together, and in front of the bronze piece, like engraved into the bronze, is an image of a lightning bolt kind of crackling across the bronze plate. Other than that, nothing. You know,
I use lightning lure and literally strike at Shogo's spell.
You all like as this weird interaction is going on with Alexander. You hear Gelmir go, "Oh yeah, it's right here." As once the sarcophagus lid closed on the other one, in the center of the midsection of the sarcophagus, looks like a perfect place to put a key into.
All right, Shogo. Looks like you can talk to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no sarcophagi, but this looks like a keyhole.
It's sarcophagus, Gelmir.
We're saying in the sarcophagus that closed is a keyhole.
Correct.
Did I take
Okay.
damage from the lightning
Ah!
bolt?
Did you just electrify my nether regions?
I'm pretty good with the Shogo. I only aim for the belt. I mean, if I hit any other extremities, I'm sorry.
And you
So-
watch as the lightning effect gets completely absorbed by the belt.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that like lightning is kind of my thing, but like, I mean, you know,
Okay, and I'm
Key in
Yeah.
hole.
handling the key.
I just want to get straight that Alex, we're not going to light the contents on fire. Gelmir, we're not shooting at the mummy inside. We just nothing. Let Shogo speak with it after I unlock this.
100% agree. Yep.
And I put the key in and try to turn it. And
Yeah, as you
unlock
put
it.
the key in, it turns. The key shatters into hundreds of tiny pieces and like into a cloud, like a small ball of shattered glass, and then shoots outward. You watch as the sarcophagus begins to grind and turn and fall into the ground. And as it disappears into the ground below you, you watch as dozens of little holes in the walls open, and sand is now slowly filling the room.
Ah!
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think I was supposed to burn that mummy because now we have earth, and I think water's the next step. You know, I think that was part of the plan.
As you're saying that, I in a panic clip off my canteen and I'm like this, because
I don't want to be buried alive.
See, Witcher believes me. So if Witcher believes me, we're all
fucked.
You know, I'm right.
So you watch as like Witcher's spraying out water everywhere, but nothing's happening.
Oh,
I look towards the ceiling. Is there anything, maybe a passage that opened up?
I mean, other
in
than
the
the
ceiling?
open sarcophagus on the floor, right? And now the sarcophagus that was standing has ground and disappeared into the ground. There's the scale statues still there, but they're both descended downward. And you still see the effigy of the other wizard in the right-hand corner. All of the fire to earth to water to wind landscape of runes of telling the story of creation. But looking up at the ceiling, as you can see these, thin streams of sand, everybody would notice that the sand is now ankle deep at this point. Looking at the ceiling is devoid of any markings.
Okay,
It's
I'm
just
gonna
a
go take a look
blank
at the
stone
wizard effigy.
ceiling.
you're gonna do what with who?
I want to go inspect the wizard effigy if there's anything going on with that.
The one of Chenix, as you
Chenix.
head over to that one, give me an investigation check.
15.
The statue stands 5 feet tall, maybe 2 feet across. He seems to be holding a book in his left hand and an orb in his right hand. Although it's chiseled all from the same stone, he seems to have a face that's staring straight ahead and just kind of standing there with the arms out, orb, book, staring straight ahead. And at the base of the statue, it just says Chenix the Witted.
What is he staring at?
Turn to look. And as you turn to look, he is staring specifically at the section describing the story of wind.
Okay, I'm gonna go take my cloak again at that section.
You guys watch as Tyr walks away from the statue over to the corner of the tomb, and suddenly takes off his cloak and he's waving it at the portion of the wind runes of the story of creation, but nothing's happening.
I take off mine and I do it to the statue itself.
Watch as Alexander does the same thing, but this time he's waving at the statue. So for the two of you, or for the rest of you, you're watching as Alexander is waving his cloak at the statue. Tyr's waving his cloak at the panel that talks about the creation of wind, and nothing happening.
I'll throw some water on the panel instead.
I throw some water on the statue.
Yeah, still nothing. Just the sand is now knee deep.
Can I jump on top of the sand to get like a higher height?
Every time you do, you sink.
Which means for me, it's probably waist deep.
Yeah, you and Gelmir would be. Although Grimmets is hovering above the sand.
Yeah, I'll jump on Grimmett. I'm going to throw sand at the wind panel.
Nothing.
I'm going to throw sand at Tyr.
Like,
Son of a bitch.
I'm just gonna like inspect the panel then, like touch around on it.
okay.
I'm gonna
Give me
look at
investigation as you do that.
I'm gonna look at Shogo nervously, and I'm gonna pull up my torch and try to burn the statue.
Not
And
20 for a total of 30.
The whole thing, just the whole
Nice.
thing.
Just let me the fuck out of here.
As the chamber still continues to fill up with with sand, Alexander is looking like he's getting ready to burn something yet again. Tyr, you recognize in the story of wind creation, there is a picture of an open book and then a image of an orb that seem to match the orb and book on the statue.
Can we take
And
the
then
book from the
below
statue?
that, in common, a ancient scripture, an ancient like religious scripture, talking about the balance of creation affecting the overall understanding of the world. You get the feeling that somehow this is all connected to the scales.
I take the orb and the book, and I try to put them on the scales.
They are solidly like chiseled out of the same piece of stone that the statue's made of.
So I'll try and open the book that's on the scale. If nothing happens, I'm taking both things off the scale.
Right. You take both off, and this time, both of the scales go to the top, even though there's nothing on them.
I'll put sand in one, and then I'll be a gaseous form in the other one.
Oh, interesting. You watch as both scales go back to the even point. You watch as all the sand stops right about chest level for everybody else, neck level for like Wintrude, but Gelmir's up. Well, Gelmir's gaseous form right now, and you hear like a grinding sound as the statue of Chenix kind of shifts and comes apart. As the whole corner of that room begins to empty, as some false bottom section of the floor has opened, and now all the sand is draining out, and the vacuous nature of the sand is pulling all of you down towards it, with the exception of Gelmir, who's still in gaseous form.
I go with the sand.
You watch as Alexander disappears with the sand.
I cast. Sorry, let me click on spells real quick. I cast spider climb.
Okay.
So if I can get like onto like if my hand can just stick onto a wall or something, and if I can, like I just try to go up.
Okay, I say with spider climb, you manage to latch onto the wall and climb. You've got one hand on the ceiling, one hand on the wall with your feet pressed firmly as you watch Alexander get sucked down into the sand that's emptying into the false opening.
I'm dead, guys.
No! No!
Tyr and Shogo, anything you want to try to do before you end up going downwards? You're mute, Shogo.
You're muted, Shogo.
Just grab onto Mika and try and make the ride soft for both of us.
Okay.
You're like a big shock absorber. Then.
Yeah.
How big is the hole in the ground?
It's about 4 feet around.
I'm gonna do a little spy.
So as Tyr, Shogo, and Alexander just ride the sand, eventually the entire room empties of the sand. You can hear a grinding sound as if the hole in the floor is gradually beginning to close.
Oh shit!
Do we see
Gelmir,
any-
Wintrude, and Gribbets are still up in the room. Tyr, Alexander, and Shogo, you are continuously just following this chute, this stone chute that's taking you deeper and deeper and deeper.
Oh, this
It's
is gonna
like
be
a
a
water
split,
slide,
baby.
except much dustier.
So
Gelmir
Gelmir,
refuses
Wintrude, what are
to
you two doing?
I'm gonna do like again. I played too much Zelda. I'm gonna do a Link style dive, and try to
thread the needle?
get into the hole
Okay.
there, and then kind of like Spider-Man sort of onto the slide, and then carefully work my way. Like I'll carefully work my way down. I can see because of double sight, so I
Correct.
should be a little bit
Gelmir, what are you doing?
Grimmets will follow Wintrude
Okay.
down the hole. I'll make my way through it, still in gaseous form.
Okay.
This way I could like move my own pace and not worry about.
Yeah, that's my idea too. It's kind of like at a trot, like just not as it's slanted like this, but because my feet can stick to it, I'm just kind of like
So with that, as you and your gaseous form, Gelmir, coming through the opening, you can see Wintrude doing her best to cautiously make her way down the chute. With all the sand gone and ahead of the two of you, it's just a stone kind of like tunnel that's been polished smoothly, and you can hear it receding deeper and deeper down below. For Tyr, Alexander, and Shogo, you're just kind of riding this sand as it's taking you deeper. It's like this gradual kind of like helix effect of getting further and further and further.
cool.
For the three of you, you get the feeling that you travel for about an hour like this. But near the tail end of that slide, it begins to gradually even out. Before long, it spits the three of you out into a cavern filled with mushroom-like forests. These huge mushrooms that stand 12 feet tall. Some are short, squat, and fat, different colors. There's just you land in like a bed of mycelium-like flora, and as you land in that, it like cushions the blow of your fall. But because it evened out near the end, it didn't really affect you all that much. But the three of you are now in this huge mushroom forest chamber. You can see the cavern goes to the right and the left, but along the edge of these cavern walls, it's just this dense, thick mycelium forest all in front of you, and a strange glow of dim light emanating from the mycelium forest.
Tyr, Shogo, do you think they're coming?
I mean, I heard some things from up ahead that sounded like them. I assume so.
as soon as I recognize the mushrooms, I would like to take like a bandana or something from my disguise kit and cover my nose and mouth.
Okay.
I see him covering his nose, his mouth, and I do the same.
Okay.
I think
I'm already like that by
are
default.
already covered.
So as the three of you kind of like looking at where you are, looking at this huge mycelium forest in front of you, every now and then you can hear like strange sounds emanating from the forest. There is a notable stone pathway that kind of branches off from the smaller beds of mushrooms that you're in. There's a very heavy kind of vegetative, like organic smell in the air, but so far no ill effects. However, waiting around for a little while, the first person you see come out is the gaseous form of Gelmir as he comes floating out. And then eventually you can hear the squidgy voice of Wintrude kind of pulling herself out of the slide chute. And the five of you are back together again, standing at the edge of this forest.
So is the chute though? Is it like up above and it's this fall down into?
Not really.
It
It's
kind
like
of just
as
evens out.
as you come out, it's only a few feet off the ground
Oh, okay.
because it was gradually evening out and just kind of plunks you down into the small beds of mushroom
Okay.
flora all on the ground, and you feel like you're on the edge of just this massive forest of mushrooms.
And at the
there
bottom
is
of
a
this,
stone
is the
walkway.
sand still there?
What's that?
Is the sand still there?
The sand is there. It's just kind of dispersed out amongst the area.
And the pathway, the stone pathway, so to speak, is that in the center of these two pathways?
There's just a single stone pathway that goes directly into the mycelium forest.
Okay, but then didn't you say there was something about like a left and right?
There's just the cavern walls that go to your right and left,
Okay.
but they stop at kind of like where the edge of the forest is. So it's like the forest feels like it just fills this massive space. Gelmir, with your arrival, you actually recognize this forest.
That's what I was wondering.
You are deep in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Gelmir,
Yeah.
this is the Underdark, right?
Yeah.
Let me look for my U journal. I think I got it. Okay.
Hey, did you guys see how I solved that puzzle?
Yeah.
I did it. We were all gonna die, and then I solved it.
I'm not really paying attention to him. I'm looking around at the mushrooms to see if there's anything either threatening or something that I can harvest.
I want to
medicine.
help him and do the same. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, you guys can give me nature checks or survival, your choice.
Alex got 14. I got 10.
I mean, I would say looking at all the different like plant matter and fungi and mycelium matter, as you begin to kind of just kind of rummage through and search through the matter, the two of you watch as a 6-inch tall mushroom creature starts running away from the two of you.
Is he running
Do I
down the path?
recognize it?
He's running towards the edge of the forest, and he seems to be screaming in terror. Ah! He's just like running away from you towards the edge of the forest.
I try to use lightning lure to catch him.
Grab
Okay.
him with Mage Hand.
Or you could use Mage Hand, either or.
I think lightning lure might be better.
Okay.
And I believe he has to make a save, right?
I guess mage hand might be better.
Why is the first instinct for violence?
It's not. I mean, it's a peaceful. It's a peaceful
It's a peaceful way to trap your enemies.
Here's a peaceful way. It's a strength saving throw.
You watch as electric energy arcs out. It latches on to the little mycelium creature, and you watch as Alexander brings it back towards him. And you're now holding a struggling 6-inch reddish green like mushroom creature, and it immediately tries. You watch as a mouth forms on it underneath the cap of the mushroom, and it tries to bite your finger. You keep moving your hand to keep it from biting your thumb.
Does anybody speak mushroom?
Yeah, I do.
I cast the spell Calm Emotions on the mushroom and on Alex for good measure.
Hey, mushroom.
So basically, it makes a charisma saving throw.
Oh, that's a fail. Yeah. It immediately stops trying to eat.
28.
It immediately stops trying to bite Alexander's hand. It just gets very docile, and it's got these big anime eyes staring up at Alexander, and it starts kind of like, and then its thin purple tongue comes out and starts licking his hands and fingers.
I feel like this mushroom has got some psychedelic effects. It's trying to calm me. I'm fighting it though. I rolled a 28.
Yeah, I know. Don't bite into any of the mushrooms around here. I mean, unless. Well, I mean, Gelmir, do you eat the mushrooms down here? Have you been down here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could eat this one right here. I mean, this
Well,
one looks.
don't eat him. He's a denizen.
Gelmir,
Oh.
do you recognize what this is?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a living mushroom.
As you look
I
at
can
it,
see that, Gelmir.
as
Do
you
I
look
know what
at
this
it,
is?
it reminds you of a creature. Where is it? No, that wouldn't be it.
Yeah, they're Michaels. I believe.
They're like they're a variation of different mitochondrians, right? So they could either be a certain size of existence,
Mm-hmm.
like some are big, some are small. They are a very kind of like almost like a tribal organic existing creature. The older they get, the bigger they get. They're quite feral when they're small. And as they grow in size and age, they kind of get in touch with their natural powers.
The small ones are fine. You can eat the small ones. It's the big ones you gotta worry about.
So
They might be mad that you ate the small ones.
wait. So if I understand correctly, it's like it's really savage right now, but it's going to grow up to be a sort of like wise mushroom hippie sort of figure.
Well, I mean, it depends on the mushroom. I don't appreciate your generalizations, Wintred.
What do we name it?
Oh,
I want to
Right.
cast message
all
on
named
the mushroom.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ask if you can understand. Do you understand me? In common.
As a reply, you get a lot of squidgy, squeaky noises that you don't recognize.
I'll speak to it in deep speech and under and see if it.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
As you begin to speak to it in deep speech, it turns to look away from Alexander, looks up towards you, and as it looks at you, it says the word Papa, and then looks back towards Alexander and says the word Mama.
No, it doesn't understand us. We need to live here right now.
Well, I think we should name it, and to be honest, we could use it as sort of like a radar detector to detect, like, if we're going into a bad area or we're about to eat, like, a bad mushroom or something. I think we should name it.
Alexander, trust me, we're not ready for this mushroom.
Gelmer, do you have enough information to tell if this is a male or a female? Or do
As
they
far
even
as
have...
you know, Gelmir, they are asexual.
They're Both or neither, but
Because of course Gelmir's not going to say asexual. It's like beyond his vocabulary.
All right.
I-
Well, we will call him Toad.
no, they're Michaels. Mycol. They're all named Michael.
Toad.
While they're having this conversation, I'm going to try. Basically, even though this doesn't really work well, I do have treats that I occasionally give to Mika. I try to coax the small myconid to eat one of them.
You coax it to eat one of what?
The treats that I have.
Okay. It doesn't really seem interested in the treat.
Mm.
Michael Toad Galander. Thank you for giving it a first name, a middle name, and a last name. That's how good this is getting.
So I start just going ahead of the group with Michael Toad Galander. You know, that's short for Gelmir and Alexander, kind of joint. and Michael Toad Galander and me are kind of rushing ahead at a pretty fast trot. You know, just kind of happily going, and now I'm just kind of feeling the energy of the forest and really just vibing with this whole new world that I'm going in. It's calm for me. I feel a new sense of responsibility, like a new purpose in life. I've been searching for
Yeah,
my
you guys
purpose
are watching
for long.
Alexander just kind of like going up the storm path towards the myconid forest.
We should follow him, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
everyone. This is bad. This is real bad.
What's bad? This what? This what specifically?
That Mike in it, that Michael, it thinks Alexander is its mommy.
Oh, well, who's its dad?
He doesn't know.
Well, I mean, I kind of just look at Gelmer, but then I start trotting off after Alex to see where we're going because I don't have any clue yet.
I don't
Yeah,
hear any
yeah.
of this conversation. I'm so zoned in to just.
Gelmir, you don't have to be the stepfather. You can be the father that stepped up.
My
Bad.
family's gonna be pissed.
Bad. Those. Clay, you're wise.
Oh shit.
You eventually lose track of Alexander as he enters the forest edge.
Oh shit.
We gotta go.
I'm trying to follow him. I'm trying to trot after him and
Okay.
because I can't keep
Gertrude
an eye
starts
on him.
following as well.
I pick up Mika and sprint after them.
I'll run in with rivets.
Okay.
I'm following at a leisurely pace.
Yeah, so as you guys kind of everybody give me perception checks as you go from the edge of the forested area and you're now following the stone path deeper into the interior forest.
Natural 2022. I am so perceptive
Wait, what am I rolling? Sorry.
26.
of the world around me.
Perception. Sorry, I was rolling. I was writing a note down.
28.
Perception.
22.
Wow, you guys.
21.
This world is
Nice.
just heightening us.
I know.
The forest is strange. Watching Alexander carry this small mushroom creature, which seems to have succumbed to Alexander's, embrace, just like to the point where he's carrying it and like passively talking to it at the same time, like keeping it calm, telling it not to worry. Alexander's leading you deeper, but you're on the main stone path. It's here. There are strange jellyfish-like creatures that float on either side of you, but they are translucent and have various colors and energies. Kind of, you watch as one large one like moves in amongst three smaller ones, arcane energy zaps the 3 smaller ones as the large one consumes the 3 smaller ones. You can see these mycelium forested trees that are 20 feet tall, 15, 10, 12, just kind of like congested into the density of the space that you're walking through. You've then watched something slither in the undergrowth of the forest and kind of like purposely avoid you and go deeper and away. For all of you, this place feels very much alive, but it's definitely trying to avoid you at this current moment.
Is there any bugs or flying creatures or anything in the air?
There are quite a few.
Well,
And they all take on translucent and kind of like very similar to what you ran into back in that one cavern. They're all like brightly colored, translucent creatures of variations of size. They're not traditional insects from your own perspective.
Is the place lit up by the plants itself, or like
Yeah,
what
there's
is the
a
lighting?
dim light from all the organic fungi and lichen and everything in the space.
This is like an underground Avatar scene that I'm imagining right now.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
I look at Michael and I see if he's worried, and if he's not, I keep treading ahead. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Michael Toad Galander.
Yeah, you look at him, he just his little purple tongue is like licking your hand and just kind of staring up at you from time to time. It doesn't seem to be concerned about anything.
Has it been over a minute?
Definitely.
The calm emotions has worn off.
Yeah. But it seems to be attached. It doesn't seem to care. It's feeling very docile.
Shogo's concerned.
I know.
Hey, Gelmir, is it normal that nothing down here is trying to kill us?
I mean, yeah, nothing ever tries to kill me. He knows better.
I mean, like in the Underdark specifically, though.
Sure. I've never been down here with you, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you've been down here, though, right? Like this,
Yeah.
you are a ranger. This is your specialty. This is your expertise zone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're doing great.
But this is normal, great, right? It's just normal.
Well, I mean, normal is just almost done. I was dead. So that's my baseline normal. So right now, we're doing great.
Well, I mean, what sort of danger should we keep an eye out for in this forest of mushrooms?
Watch out for all the danger.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you feel like you're in the lower dark, Gelmir. This is the deepest.
Yeah, this is
Part
the lowest.
of the
This is the
Underdark.
lowest dark.
Which is bad, or
Like there's dark, there's underdark, and then there's lower dark. That's where
Which
we
you
are.
probably would notice that Gelmir's almost dead. He's like super low. He's dying over here, so he might not be thinking clearly.
Let me take a look at him for a second. Like if he's like exterior
I am,
wounds and
like-
stuff. And
I'm like passing out left and right.
Okay, hang on.
good. We're great.
Hang on a second. Features and traits. I go ahead and I go ahead and as I'm walking alongside him, I reach out and use healing light on him, which lets me roll like 4d. I can roll up to 4d6 to try to
I'll
help
give
him.
myself some tip too.
So you give you some. Oh my god, this is crap roll. 9. So 11 hit points.
Almost doubled where I was at.
Is Gelmir still like on the verge of death or something?
Oh yeah. I'm at 23 with 10 temp now.
Jesus.
Wait,
I think it was at like 9 or 10 or 12.
I was at 12.
I mean, you guys are all looking pretty rough. I mean, that last little foray was a little bit rough.
okay. Well,
So what would I know about like just the environment down here and like tips and tricks?
The challenges with the lower dark is that it is considered the most dangerous environment of the Underdark. Whether or not this part of the lower dark expanded after the Halaster's establishment of the Undermountain, it's quite possible that this space used to be something else during Halaster's time, and the Underdark and the Lower Dark expanded outward and kind of succumb and overtook what used to be here. Because if you're still in the Undermountain, this is a little strange to see the Lower Dark so spread out. But then again, the Undermountain's considered over 2,000 years old. So there are many different assumptions and beliefs in regards to the Underdark. The one thing you know about the Lower Dark is that it tends to be connected with what's called rifts. And it's believed that portions of the Lower Dark offer the greatest opportunities towards entering a place called Avernus.
Okay, everyone, just a heads up. If you see a weird portal thing, it goes to hell. I don't mean that like metaphorically. I mean it will actually take you to hell. So don't go through it.
Don't go into the hell gates.
I think I'm so far up ahead, I don't hear this.
Yeah, you're like a good 50 feet up while everyone else is lingering behind you.
Wait, can I do like a medicine check, like as I'm going along, like just to see if Gelmir is okay, if he would need any more healing or anything?
I would leave it up to Gelmir to describe his condition.
Okay.
Yeah, I still look.
Alex, wait.
Alex, give me a con save.
Oh, geez.
Perfect. That's a natural 1 for 4.
Okay.
Now I'm not worried about anything.
Killing it.
I mean, like, you have a slight ringing in your ears. You feel a little bit nauseous. Go ahead and take 31 points of poison damage.
Oh, you just want to even it out, don't you? All right.
Oh no, you're carrying something, and you didn't notice what it did. So,
All right.
you just feel kind of sickly.
All right.
But you feel, but other than that, you're happy. You're like euphorically happy to the point where you're like,
Yeah.
even though you feel strange, you don't necessarily believe anything's wrong.
All
I'm
right.
gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out and touch Gelmir's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds
Okay.
for
Wait, I can
for ooh, dude, I rolled double 8s for 19 points of healing.
Nice.
Take it.
Damn, that never happened.
I'm gonna
I
cast
played
a
a-
message on Alex, but come back here real quick.
Alex, you hear this really loud kind of like ringing in your ears? But it's more of an annoyance. You just kind of ignore it as you continue deeper into the forest.
Dickhead.
Man, even when Alex gets to be happy, he doesn't. He has to suffer from his happiness. I'm like, that's the sorry, game master. It's kind of the height of uncoolness. Gee, neighbor of
I mean, he's
uncoolness.
the one that picked it up like a pet. I don't know what to tell you.
Because who wouldn't?
I really think we need to get that Mackinnon away from him. I'm really.
Oh
do.
no, I'm gonna become tolerant to this. I'm building a tolerance right now.
And as you guys are looking at the dim light, like Tyr gets a little concerned and kind of like picks up the pace a little bit. Tyr, like at the edges of his exposed skin on the back, there's little bits of fungus caps beginning to grow out the back of his neck. And the pallor of his skin, like normally red and black, is now taking on more of a grayish kind of hue.
Yeah, I think we need to get him.
Can we get him to? We need to get him to stop. We probably should stop and try to set up camp and talk and get our bearings and come up with.
How
a plan.
far away is he right now?
He's about 60 feet in front of you.
And I'm picking up pace. I'm
Okay, I'm casting command, and I'm just gonna say drop.
Okay, what's the save on
Wisdom
that?
save 19.
Alexander, give me a wisdom save at disadvantage because you are poisoned.
Imagine he saves that.
Oh, the first one was a 20 too. Oh. The second one was a 9.
9. You hear this very abrupt ringing in your head, and then you hear a distinct drop it. And you stop and you let go of your hand, like you open your hand, And as you do, you look down to see that the creature has rooted into the flesh of your palm, and you can see the fungal strands like circling around your hand and into your elbow. And you can see this like mucus, this like yellow mucus kind of like draining from where it's like penetrated into your hand and arm, kind of breaking you out of the stupor as this creature like turns to look up at you. Its purple tongue lolled out. It's like absorbing your physical matter right now. And you can see little protrusions forming on your arm, little mushroom caps beginning to form, little nodules on your arm.
But I can't drop it.
You can't. It's attached to you. Here, you see that Alexander's trying to drop it, but all these fungal strands are preventing him from being able to drop it.
How far away is he?
60 feet.
He stopped to do that. You guys have caught up to him now.
All right.
Gelmir, you have experience down here. Is it possible to set up a camp? Shogo, can we get Alex like calm down and sort of like lying down? Where do you think you could help treat this?
I can help treat this, yes. Someone hold him.
Well, can we set up a camp? Can we, Gelmir? What do we?
Just hold
have
him.
You camp down here? Have we?
Well, don't kill him.
Like Alexander's looking at it. You got just don't kill it. It's fine.
I'm just gonna.
We need a long rest, dude. We kind of need to like stop. This can't just be. It's not like you pause for a second and get the tweezers out and take a splinter out. It can't be that way.
We're gonna
can't
sit
be a
Alex
thing.
down, and I mean,
I want to keep going, guys.
No,
Ghelfi,
hey!
give me a survival check with advantage because you are in your favorite terrain.
I don't have favorite terrain anymore.
Oh, that's right. So give me a survival check.
15.
15. There's an area off the path that seems to be a decent enough space that you guys could make camp if you choose to.
I want to keep going, guys. I think we're fine.
wait. Looking at Alex, what do I think I could?
Alex's left eye is like starting to get like a mucus covering over it.
Could I safely extract the myconid?
You can give me a medicine check as Shogo is kind of doing his medicine review. So Shogo, you give me a medicine check
Nice
as well,
roll.
just to
Where'd
kind
it
of
go?
assess the situation.
Did you do one of those like
28.
dice rolls where it fell off the desk? You're
It
like,
fell
oh,
off.
we
It
get-
fell off. 19.
19. So between you and Shogo, Tyr, you notice that it might be difficult. You're not sure if it's going to be dangerous to extract the kind of like rooty protrusions into Alexander's form. Shogo, you immediately recognize the transmutation effect. When this thing is done killing Alexander, the mucus-like saliva of its form will gradually turn Alexander into like a place for myconids to sprout from. It's almost like
This
turning
sounds like
him
an awesome
into like a
question.
like a grow bed of micronids is what it's turning him into.
They weren't killing you, really would become a mother. All right.
Tyr, give me sleight of hand as you begin to pull at the fungal strands to see if they'll release.
Don't
25.
You watch as Tyr carefully pulls one of the strands out, and at the end of the strand is this 2-inch long toothy protrusion with like a jettison of like filaments that are covered in Alexander's blood.
So gross.
And now Tyr is like plucking each one out.
While this is happening, I take out my medicine kit and start putting together some really, really potent antifungals.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check for starters.
Intelligence.
I look at Michael Toad, and I say, hey, I love you to death, but if you don't detach now, they're gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I want to be friends, but we can end this amicably, or I could just kill you now.
It doesn't speak your language. As you pantomime this to it, give me a persuasion check.
And I'm doing it with the dagger. Like
Yeah, you're like, yeah, that's fair.
Natural 20 for 25.
Nice. As you're pantomiming this idea of it getting along with you, it at that moment, Tyr plucks out the final strand. Shogo is off to the side, putting together like a salve or a concoction. You watch as all the strands recoil back into the base of the small myceliid creature, as this tiny little myconid sits there with its huge anime eyes looking up at you with its purple tongue lolling out, its teeth kind of serrated and barred underneath its cap, and you're holding it. It's like the size of a Smurf, as you're holding it.
Yeah.
And it seems frustrated at what Tyr did, and it immediately bites into your palm, just like out of anger and frustration, bites you for 2 points of piercing damage. And you begin to feel this liquid pulsing into your hand. Give me a con save.
Me?
Yeah, with advantage, because Shogo and Tyr try to prevent it from doing this again.
21.
You feel the poison about to pulse back into your hand again. You get the feeling this thing's too feral to even know what it's doing. It's a feral creature.
I put it under my foot, and as I'm holding it, I put my heel down on its like bottom half, and then I take my right foot and I just repeatedly just start smashing it.
As little bits of myconid like mushroom meat go spraying off in the entire area. You feel that euphoric feeling leave you, Alexander. The searing pain of poison that's coursing through your blood. These mucus dripping wounds and the little nodules of mitochondrium like coming into existence go ashen and start falling off your body. What'd you get, Shogo?
16 for the intelligence.
Sleight of hand with advantage as you mix the ingredients together.
All right. Huh, 2 10s in a row. Interesting.
Any bonuses?
What?
Any bonuses for sleight of hand?
-1.
Okay, so 9.
My nerves are pretty messed up.
As you assemble the concoction, you can see that Alexander's already destroyed the myconid. Tyr has pulled the last of the filaments out of his arm, and the little nodules are beginning to fall off as the poison is coursing through his body. You take what you made and start applying it to the wounds on Alexander. Go ahead and roll a d4, Shogo.
D4.
And while they're doing all this, I'm grabbing all the nodules, the filaments, the myconid parts, and I'm putting it all in the stew for dinner.
Is there any way I can apply my medical knowledge to this? I'm
Sure.
intimately familiar with magical parasites.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give me a medicine check with advantage.
All right. So, dirty 20.
You can give me 2d4.
Got it.
I hope we come to find out that Mika is a magical parasite and Shogo is just like a carcass.
6.
6. Alex, you get 6 hit points back. You're no longer poisoned. You feel the last of the poison kind of ebb out of your body. At this point, Alexander seems to be slowly turning back to normal.
How's everybody looking, like, health-wise?
I don't want to stand here and let another one of these things come on me, so I am voting anti-rest. And we keep trucking.
I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay. What does that do?
It's a minute long, so it's supposed to be it's a bonus action. Wait, let me find it.
Just another OP bard thing.
Magical Secrets. It was Magical Secrets. I got it from
Paladin.
Until the spell ends or moves with you, you can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura to regain 2d6 hit points. for a minute. So
that's 20d6.
10, yeah, 20d6 basically.
Holy.
I was just gonna roll like 2d6 and then dole that out 10 times. Is that?
That's fine. Yeah, feel free.
7. All right, so I'll give 4 to Gelmir, 4 to Alex. How are you guys looking?
I'm good. I'm okay, honestly.
Sure.
I'm at 79 out of 92.
Let me see.
Is that 4 times 7?
Yeah.
46,
hit points back to you, Alex.
46 out of 87.
And then I'll give the.
I only need 3.
Okay, well, 3 to Alex. 4. I'm not good at math. Is 4 to Gelmir, 3 to Shogo.
Okay.
So 21.
So with this aura of
21.
vitality kind of blossoming out, everyone feels that magic recovery kick in. Gelmir, while Alexander can be eccentric at times, the fact that he's a little bit panicked about his own immortality, you're not in too much of a disagreement. Getting out of this forest sooner rather than later might be a good idea. Staying here can get dangerous. Problem is, you're not sure how big the forest is here.
Guys, I'm gonna make us real sneaky, okay? So you're just gonna have to stay near me, and then we're just gonna have to sneak out of here so no more things try to eat us or jump on us.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds sensible enough.
Okay, I pass without a trace on all of us.
Okay, so you're concentrating on Pass Without a Trace.
Tyr, I think you and me should lead the front. I feel like kind of the tankiest individuals.
All right.
So with Tyr and Alexander leading down the pathway, you guys abandon the one hopeful spot of taking a long rest. Wintrude a bit concerned, but realizing that maybe there might be some truth here. This is proving to be a pretty dangerous environment. The 5 of you line up and start heading down the stone pathway. I need fresh stealth checks from everybody. Don't forget to add that +10.
Stealth checks.
I had +10.
Yep.
Yeah,
for
from
Pass Without a Trace.
password trade.
Golly, with advantage.
27.
27.
25.
Okay.
24.
That's with a plus 18.
22, 21.
21. Tyr.
28.
28. So being cautious and moving with cautious intent. Following the stone path, it begins to thread its way ever deeper into the forest. Every now and then, something large shifts out in this strange place. At some point, you watch as about a dozen of these myconid figures of various sizes kind of shift in and out of your peripheral vision. But with your stealth and with your caution, they never take notice of you. And after about 30 minutes of traveling cautiously and carefully, you can now actually see another stream of light coming through the forest from the opposite direction that you've been walking towards, almost like you're getting to the edge of the forested area. And you begin to move towards that. Everybody give me a final stealth check as you're trying to make your way out of this forest.
With the 10 or without?
With it lasts for up to an hour, I believe.
Yep.
Damn it.
37.
Nice.
13.
20. Wait, is it with the... You said with the 10?
Yeah.
Yep.
26.
Okay.
31.
28.
So, maybe about 1,000 feet left before you get out of this space. And you guys are walking towards that glimmer of a change of light. The forest is even beginning to thin a bit. The fungal sprouts aren't nearly as frequent. The density of the myconid trees beginning to get a little bit thinner as you're edging your way up towards that edge. All of you hear Shogo's foot just squelch on like a rotted piece of mushroom. And as he does, there's this kind of like popping sound, and the entire group is suddenly enveloped in a cloud of spores that just begin to swirl around you, kind of blinding you momentarily. But then the cloud of spores begins to shift and kind of like ebb on the breeze of the cavern, of the forested space, and drift off in to the myconid forest. And you hear this creature off in the distance just kind of let out a great like howl. This
I immediately start running.
Would I know what this is?
So just starts running towards
I'm
the
sprinting
edge
full.
of the forest.
I'm
Anybody
sprinting
else?
full.
Would I know what this is?
Give me a nature check.
4.
4? Not a clue. It could be anything.
Yeah, I'll activate my boots of speed, and I'm doubling everybody else.
So with Shogo running, Alex is running, Gelmir is running, Wintrude and Tyr, what are you doing?
Hang on a second. Let me see here.
I'm
I just want
running.
to check. Yeah, I'm just gonna run to keep up with the others.
Yeah, you start sprinting, Tyr.
Yeah.
I'm casting invisibility, and I'm still sneaking.
And you cast invisibility. And
Well,
you
kind of.
yeah,
yes.
but if you stay stealthy, it means you're not moving that fast.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
but
else is running away at full
I'm gonna
tilt.
like snake away, like kind of off to where I'm not away from where the sound was.
Okay. As you come off the path slightly, the others get very far ahead of you. They're about halfway closing the distance to get out of the forested area. And because you're not traveling as fast as you do, over your right shoulder, breaking through the shredded remains of the forested edge from the direction that you came through, this huge creature comes lumbering out on 6 arms, this huge face, its body covered in like myconid organic elements of its form, and it's moving at a full tilt. It goes right by you as it's now pursuing the other 4, and you're off the path. The 4 of you up ahead, you can hear something very heavy pursuing the 4 of you as you're racing towards the edge of the forest. It's now 500 feet up ahead. You can feel the ground tremble as this huge form is getting closer and closer. You could smell this sweet kind of rotted meat smell coming from behind you as you're racing towards the edge of the forest.
So there's 2 creatures.
Just one, but it's got, well, if you turn to look over your shoulder, this 20-foot tall by 15-foot long creature with these furry organic arms, 3 on either side of it. Its huge face, a distorted amalgamation of organic material, and it's just lumbering on all 6 of its arms, like almost like an ape that kind of moves quickly. It's coming towards you. It's just this feral shriek and scream as it's pursuing you.
I'm gonna like, as I'm sprinting, if I'm noticing that it's catching up, as soon as it's within 60 feet, I'm gonna tell the group, I'm gonna try to banish this thing, and then we should keep running if it works. It's a new thing I've been working on, and that would be my plan, to try to banish it and keep running.
All right, what's the save for that?
Nice.
Charisma 17,
Ooh.
and I don't think it has charisma.
So, Tyr, as you're behind it, you hear Alexander yell something out, and the creature that was there is now gone. Just disapparates. The rest of you recognize that Alexander's spell took, and you bolt towards the edge of the forest, coming out on the other side. And Tyr, since you're slower again, with the creature now not there, what do you want to do? You're about 400 feet from the edge of the forest.
I mean, I can just stay invisible and move regular speed now, right? Yeah.
You could, but the spell only lasts a minute.
Well, then I'll just book it to them.
Yeah.
Until the invisibility ends, then I'll keep booking it.
Okay. So as you realize the creature's been banished, you start running as fast as you can. At that moment, you guys watch as an invisible space of the forested edge that you guys came out of parts open, and out steps Tyr as the invisibility fades. And he's now standing amongst the 5 of you, or the 4 of you. Alexander, you feel your concentration fall away as the minute goes by. And you can hear the shriek of the monster back behind you as it feels both. You guys can sense it's confused. It's lumbering in the forest like it's trying to find you. You can see parts of the forest like actually being kind of like brought down by the creature. You're currently standing in a large cavern. There are a series of collapsed corridors, hallways, rooms, a jumble of what looks to be like maybe this used to be a very well put together dungeon at some point, but it's all come apart. And at the very top of this pile of like dungeon remains, you could see an opening of a tunnel up in front of you.
So I was able to move 160 feet per round. So would have I had time to investigate all this before they get here?
I would say you were 1,000 feet away at that point. So I would say you would at least have a few moments to do a quick investigation just as everybody else is coming into the space. So you could go ahead and give me an investigation check.
17.
17. You can see that the way this place is collapsed in on itself, there's like a terrace of stones and debris that gradually lead up towards the top of the debris pile and would get you up the 500 feet up into where that entrance into the tunnel is.
Yeah, I'm going to go up that.
Okay, so as you're scrambling up, everybody else comes stumbling out, and you guys can all see Gelmir scrambling up the debris pile in the direction of the tunnel.
Can he
The
fly?
shrieks of the creature are getting louder, but they haven't made it out of the forested area yet.
And so I have a climbing speed equal to my walking speed.
Yeah, I mean, like you're scampering up it as fast as you can move.
160 feet per round.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gelmir is hauling ass up the debris pile.
The spider will never get me again.
What are the 4 of you doing?
I'm following Gelmir as best I can, trying to get
Okay.
up there.
Okay, Shogo.
I've been piggybacking Mika this entire time. I'm honestly kind of surprised I'm still alive. But
Welcome to the party.
yeah, I'm going to try and follow the others, relying more on my strength than
Okay.
on my mobility.
Wintrude, here. What are you guys doing?
Starting to climb.
Okay.
Yeah. Just follow.
All right. So Gelmir, acrobatics or athletics with advantage. Everybody else, athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
Athletics or acrobatics? So
Yep.
okay, acrobatics.
Natural 20 for 28.
Nice.
15.
22.
17.
16.
So for some of you, it's an easier job to do than the other. You guys are rapidly scaling up this debris pile. Gelmir, you get up to the top of the debris pile first to look down, watching the other 4 gradually making their way up. So far, no one slipped or fallen. You're in front of the open tunnel, and as you look down, you watch as the forest just parts open. And this Uradak comes out of the edge of the Mycondrian forest, and its huge form looks up to see everyone scampering up the debris pile. You at the top. It stands on 2 of its arms like their legs, and then the other 4 arms come together as it beats on its chest. and begins to lope in the direction of the debris pile. And that's where we're going to finish today.
What was that thing called? I'd like to see a search for a picture of it.
I will show you what it looks like. Although it's a variation of its original form.
Unlike Banish This, we're not going to fight it. No, we're fighting it. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Terrifying.
You're saying, oh yeah, like you know what that is. I have no idea what
It's an
that is.
UDAC.
No.
It's UDAAK. It's one of Matt Mercer's creations.
It's not that I know what it is. It's that it makes sense now with the arms and stuff. It's like primate.
Oh.
I get it now.
But yeah, it's one of my home brews of using this thing. I love using this thing.
So the 3D printer.
Oh no! This was a purchase.
Oh,
That was a purchase.
I was like,
I got
whoa.
very lucky when I found that. I was very happy. All right, everyone, thanks for coming out. You guys all go ahead and linger for a moment because we got to talk about the fact that getting to the Underdark was a milestone. So everybody else linger. Everyone else, have a good rest of your weekend. Be safe, be kind. Don't forget to play a game. And we will see you in a couple hours for Fool's Errand. This group will see you next week. Good night, everybody. I need.